Good morning. I'd like to call the regularly scheduled meeting of the Board of Selectmen to order. It is Monday, November 21st, 2016. It is now 8:38. First order of business is the Pledge of Allegiance. I'd like to ask Selectman Cartier to lead us, please.
Pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you, Cindy. Item 2 is public forum, limited to 3 minutes on any agenda item. Anybody wishing to address the board? Seeing none, we'll move on. Item 3 is approval of the minutes. We have 3 sets of minutes. 3.1, approval of the minutes of November 1st, 2016, which was a public hearing. Do I have a motion? So moved.
Second.
Any additions or corrections? Seeing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. Tracy, nice job. That was a long public hearing. Okay. Item 3.2, approval of the November 2nd special meeting. Do I have a motion, please?
Second.
Any additions or corrections? Seeing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. And 3.3,
So moved.
Second.
Second.
that was November 7th, regular meeting. All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay, carried. Minutes approved. Item 4, Finance Director, Mary J. Malavesi.
Morning.
Good morning. And, welcome, this is your first time here, right?
Yes.
Okay. All right, how would you like to start off?
I will start with the revenue.
Okay,
You'll see that our revenue to date, as of October 31st, is at 52.3%, compared to 56.1% last year at this time. There are a couple things you might note, that the building department is lower than usual, lower than last time this year, mainly because we have a large amount of fees coming in for the High Street condo that haven't been recorded here, so they're hoping to pick up there. The police department is low as well, mainly because they're having a decrease in requests for vehicles for special construction jobs, so that's the reason that one's lower. And also, if you look at the tax collection, down roughly 4 to 5%. I haven't been able to speak with the tax collector because she's been on vacation, but I will note that there are a number of year-end adjustments for the audit that have not been made at this time. That represents about $500,000, so that number is low by that amount at least. So I'm not sure if you have any specific questions.
What do you mean by audit adjustments
There
for
are
taxes?
There are year-end adjustments that are done for audit purposes that carry money over from one year to the other for 60 days after the beginning of the next fiscal year. Those adjustments have not been made, so it's skewed by only having it done last year and not this year.
any other questions on revenue for the Finance Director? Okay.
Okay, we'll move on to the expenditures. So as of October 31st, for the board and the town, we are at 34.8% as compared to 33.8% last year at this time. I'm not sure if you have any specific questions. Things like human services and information systems, they're a matter of the timing of the payments. Some items might get paid in November or October from different years. Specifically in human services, we do pay those as they're requested. So depending on when the requests come, this year, obviously we got them in sooner than we did last year, so that shows the difference in that area. Debt service interest. In the debt service this year, we have about $930,000 worth of a reduction for refinancing, and it showed in the budget number, so it kind of skews the percentage, because we haven't realized that savings yet. We will over time, so when you look at 63 compared to 42, it's really a budgetary number that's skewing it, not that we're paying things differently this year.
Mary Jane, I also noticed that in operating transfers, we did make them sooner this
But
year
it-
than last year.
Correct, it's,
Okay.
again, it's just a matter of timing.
Okay. Any questions?
No, I don't have any question. I mean, that, obviously expenditures are a lot closer than previous years. Do you think on revenue though, I mean, it looks like we're $1.7 million off from last year. Is really we're gonna be able to catch that up in building fees and audit adjustments?
Well, some of that is tax collection, I'd have to speak to the tax collector. You know, there's $1 million there, even with the
I mean,
adjustment.
it's one thing to be a percentage point or less off, but it's another thing to be 4 or 5% off, so we'll see next month, right?
Yeah, and to be honest, I really haven't, you know, been able to review that in the time that I've been here.
I'm just concerned that it's such a large
Yeah.
percentage different than a year ago, so.
Mhm.
Stay tuned.
You want to move on to medical?
So the one thing I want to note specifically about the report that you have in front of you is you'll see I have a lot of revised numbers on here. The report that you received the last couple of months did not correctly express the June 30 numbers, so I've corrected those. And the numbers that I'm presenting to you match to our financial records. I think it's important that you see where our financial records are, even if they might be slightly off from Anthem, again, due to timing. But I think it's my responsibility to make sure that our financial records match with Anthem, but that you should be seeing where we stand as far as the town today. So we had a good month of October as claims were down. And so I don't know if you have any specific questions on the current year expenditures or the revenues.
Anybody? Any questions? No? Okay.
Only to
Gary?
note for the camera, because you didn't say it, that the projected surplus at this point is approaching $1 million, if these numbers prove out for the
Correct.
year.
Mm-hmm.
It's medical, obviously, you're just guessing at this point.
Yeah.
Be interested to
Timing.
know
If
where,
they prove up.
Yeah. Yeah.
be interested to know where we were last year, but even if we
Well,
knew
it's to
it
the
wouldn't
right
matter.
now.
Yeah.
It's
It
over.
could
Not
change,
just,
it
I
could
wondered
change
what the
tomorrow.
projected surplus was.
Right.
What difference would it make,
I just want to make one comment on Charles's comment about that we're behind last year on revenue, a couple of points. However, according to budget, we're right on target. Okay. so-
if we're comfortable with it,
Correct.
just,
Yeah.
4%, jumps out.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Anything else? Any questions? Thank you. Okay, item 5, Fire Chief. Chief Hirsch, 5.1, discuss and take possible action on RFP 1-1617, technical rescue training, structural collapse technician for the fire department. Morning, Chief.
Good morning. This is the AFG grant that we received, which the Board of Selectmen agreed to take on. This is the first part of it, the actual training course. This does not include the labor, which is also part of the grant. The total grant, if I remember, was $112,000, which we had at 10% matching. So basically, we put it out to bid. This was the only bid we got back, which is $51,728.
Chief, how much you project the labor is going to be on that?
The matching for the labor is about $50-something thousand.
Okay, so it's going to cover, the grant's going to cover it
Right,
all?
right.
Okay.
The labor being the time of our personnel?
Right, that's correct.
Can you just elaborate a little bit, since I don't remember what the grant application said? What is this for?
This is for structural collapse training. In other words, if a building collapses, the people will be trained at a technician level to shore the building up, to breach concrete, to lift concrete, to lift wood, go down below grade. It's an extensive training course.
Where does it take place?
Here in Guilford. Yeah, that was one of the criteria that had to come here, because we didn't want to deal with transportation costs, and obviously we can't send all 32 people to out of state, so that's what it's for.
So do you have to create some sort of a physical structure presence for them to
Well,
work on?
basically, the bid required that they do all the props, so they're gonna have to pour concrete, they're gonna have to build, little structures and actually destroy them, collapse them, and we're gonna have to lift them up and shore them up. So it's a pretty extensive program. We'll let the board know when we're ready to go.
Interesting.
Is literally everyone being trained?
About 28 of the 32 are, yes.
Is this part of the certification for interior?
No, this is just another technician level course. Currently, everybody in the department is at the highest technician level that the state can offer.
Mhm.
This is basically like a federal level course.
Okay,
There used to be a lot of technician level stuff.
great.
The-
Is there, I'm just thinking, is there any value or possibility of inviting some of our neighboring firemen to participate?
Oh, yeah, there will
in
be
this?
some regional people coming
Okay.
in, right. But have to again be at the same level of training.
Right.
And that's kind of tough to meet, but yes, we are going to open it up. There's a regional asset.
Okay.
Do we charge the other departments for this, or no?
Cannot charge them.
Can't charge them?
Right.
Okay.
But there should be no cost to us for that.
No cost.
Great.
No.
I tried, but
I would move that we approve RFP 1-1617
Second.
as presented.
Second.
do I have a second?
I second it.
Speak up, Sidney.
Mike can't hear you over there.
Second.
Okay, thank you. Motion has been made and seconded. Is there any discussion? No, seeing none, I'll call for a vote. All those in favor? Aye. Aye, motion passes. Okay, Chief, we've got one more. Discuss and take possible action to waive the bidding for the purchase and installation of a new phone system at Public Works and Park and Recreation.
But as the board knows, is we have in the, I think it's the 1920 fiscal year, the replacement of both the Public Works Department and the Park and Recs Department phone system.
2020?
Yeah.
You said 1920.
Oh, 1920? Okay.
He was looking at me.
Yeah.
At least he was looking at me.
Yeah, so the 2019-2020, I believe it is the capital money. So, the police department had theirs done this year. And there's enough money available. I had Frontier go back out and survey both Park and Rec and Public Works. And with the money that we have in surplus, we can do both those systems for a total of about $11,000. So I'm asking the board to waive the bid so we can get this thing started. And both these systems have become problematic. I've been down to both the departments trying to reset their phone systems, and it's kind of important to get Public Works up and running before the winter gets here.
Yeah, just to add on to what the chief said, we had 32,000 in the capital budget for the police department, and then we spent, I believe,
19,000.
19, which left a balance that we could use for the Park and Rec and for Public Works. So we're using that balance to, on these two requests here.
I would move that we use the balance of the police allocation to approve these two projects for Public Works and Park and Rec.
Second.
Motion is made, second. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Unanimous. Thank you, Chief.
Thank you.
Have a good day.
Something better.
Pardon me?
Some things come in better.
Item 6, Health Department, Dennis Johnson, consider and take possible action on conditional award of RFQ/RFP 3-1617 for engineering services for possible water main extension from Mulberry Point, Tuttle's Point, and Long Cove Associations. Morning, Dennis.
Good morning. Just to give you a little background on this project, on September 2016, the selection committee reviewed 5 requests for proposals from engineering firms for the project. After interviews, we selected 2 firms, and as a result of the interview, we concluded that the firm Wright Pierce from Middletown to be the most qualified for the design and construction phase of this project. Since this is a state drinking water revolving fund project, our recommendation had to be submitted to the State Health Department for review and for authorization also before the town could award the bid. And in your packet, I included a copy of the letter from the State Health Department dated November 15th, 2016, authorizing the town to select our candidate of choice. Therefore, it is recommended that the award for the contract be awarded to Wright Pierce from Middletown to do the design and construction phase of the proposed water main project.
I may just point out, this would be a conditional award. It's conditioned on, a successful town referendum on the project, various town meeting and other approvals, so, it's, when you do your motion, it should be conditioned upon further approvals.
And
You want to explain why we're doing this now?
Dennis, how do we address that more? It's a timing thing. I think we have many balls in the air. So one thing can't lag behind the other in terms of timing of construction and projection. And I think that Dennis would probably tell you that your next meeting, he's going to come to you to ask for some work that is outside of the scope of this bid and try to get some approval to have this entity do some initial work because of the various requirements of DEEP and OPM, Office of Policy Management, who have said to us, some of this additional work needs to be done now versus after the referendum. But you'll address all that next meeting, but.
Okay. No, I thought it'd be a good explanation for the public why we're doing it now.
Yeah.
Okay, good. Anything you want to add to that, Dennis?
No, I think that covers it. It's a lot of parallel paths going at once here with this project, and we have to accomplish one thing at a time, and getting the contract, approved first is a big step. But it is conditional upon obtaining easements, town meeting, and the town referendum.
Okay.
And this price will hold if there's any significant delay, or will that have to be rebid?
No, this price should hold.
I would move
The
that we
motion, yep, Gary, yep.
conditionally, or approve the conditional award of RFP 3-1617 for engineering services for
Second.
the water main extension.
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded, and discussion. Call for a vote. All those in favor?
Aye.
Unanimous. Thank you, Dennis.
Thank you.
Okay, item 8, appointments and resignations, 8.1.
7.
Yeah.
That's 7.
Oh, I'm sorry. Forgot my own schedule here. What happens when it's up at the bottom of the page? Yeah. Consider and take possible action on a Board of Selectmen schedule for 2017.
Yeah, you're all fine.
Okay.
You all have the right one.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm going to entertain a motion, no, not a motion, but just that we waive the reading of all the dates. Is everybody okay with that?
Yeah, okay, got it in front of us.
Okay. Somebody want to make a motion to accept these dates?
Moved.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries, thank you. Now we'll move on to appointments and resignations. That's item 8.1, act on the resignation received from James DeVoe, excuse me, from the Public Works Commission. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. It's with regrets, Mr. DeVoe is moving out of town. 8.2, act on a recommendation to appoint Patrick Pascal to the Guilford Lakes Golf Course Commission for a term to expire September 30th, 2020.
So moved. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. 8.3, remove from the table and take possible action to appoint Robert Cuso as an alternate to the Guilford Lakes Golf Course Commission to fill a vacancy for a term to expire September 30th, 2018. I think we need two motions. First of all, I need one to remove from the table.
I move we remove it from the table.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Second motion is to appoint Mr. Cusio. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. Okay, I have, that's the end of appointments and resignations. I have one request for the use of town property. 9.1, consider and take possible action on a request from Cub Scout Pack 475 to place a small sign, small contained fire pit on the green during the tree lighting event.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. Okay, correspondence, there's number 10, 10.1, Public Works Department Monthly Report. In your packet. Questions? Committee reports? I just want to make one report that I should have given last meeting on the Senior Tax Relief Committee. We met about a month ago. There was no public in attendance, unfortunately, and the committee decided to take no action on the present ordinance. That's the report. The assessor gave his report that there were 808 households who are currently on the program. That's the senior tax freeze, by the way, for the rest, that's it. And we have had, in the course of a couple of years, I think, one or two appeals, and that's been about it. So we saw no need to change the ordinance as it is now written. And we agreed to meet again in a couple of years. So it's pretty much the way the ordinance is written, and we decided to leave it as it stands. And that's my report. Okay.
The only thing I might add to that is maybe in bold print on the information that the assessor puts out, there ought to be a warning that if somebody has any medical issues or extraordinary income issues, that could affect their maintenance on the program, and maybe they ought to seek professional help before they do it. I mean, we've had a couple situations where people unfortunately have made terrible decisions. Personal decisions which have changed their status. And so, like the caution on a pack of cigarettes, just put it in bold print so that people maybe take notice of that.
Okay. We might have a situation where we have to hear an appeal, which I'm working on now, but not to address it on camera, but that's it. Okay. So we did meet, and that's it.
Yep.
Any other?
Can you pass that on to the assessor to maybe change his
Certainly will.
verbiage?
And since the application period begins February 1, it's timely that we tell them that. Okay, thank you, Gary.
You want to make a report on
Okay.
that, Tuesday?
Yeah, go ahead, you can do that.
Me?
Yeah, you went to the schools and everything, so.
All right, I just want to report on the school change, schedule change, where school was open on Veterans Day this year for the first time in many, many years. It was a very, very successful day, starting with a breakfast at Adams Middle School for a group of veterans and men and women who are presently in the service. We must have had 40 or so veterans at Adams. And then when we went down to the Green for the regular service, I guess it was the entire school from Calvin Lee.
Yeah, it was.
Came down with their principal, and they took part in the ceremony. They were singing patriotic songs, and it was really quite a morning. From there, some of us went to the high school, and there were quite a few veterans and, again, servicemen and women who were in the service. Spoke to the students and answered questions in a kind of a panel format. I was very, very impressed with the interaction by students and veterans. At the breakfast at Adams, groups of students were going around and introducing themselves and asking the veterans what branch they were in and questions about their service. It wasn't just kind of a smile and look pretty. It was a real interaction with all of the students and the veterans. And I think, I haven't talked to every single veteran, but I think most, the vast majority were very, very pleased to have all of this take place, and especially to be received by the students as well as they were. So it was a highly successful day. That also allowed us to have the students out of the schools on election day, so that we didn't have hundreds of people coming into a building with actually, this case, it was thousands of people when school was in session. So I think it worked out in both ways.
Since you mentioned Veterans Day, we also want to remind everybody that December 7th, Pearl Harbor Day, VFW and American Legion also sponsor a ceremony down at the marina. And I believe the time is at 11, but we'll get you those the time will be on the website. So, and I think we have a selectmen's meeting before that anyway, but whether the tape gets out by then, who knows?
Yeah.
But, okay.
Well, you reminded people about dates, the tree lighting maybe.
Yeah, tree lighting will be
Second, I think.
December 2nd, yeah, which is sponsored by the Chamber of Commerce. Dates, December 1st is the date that the Board of Selectmen will hold presentation of the 5-year capital plan for our departments, heads and boards and commissions, which will be taped, which is where our departments will present to the Board of Selectmen their rolling 5-year capital plan, beginning with year 2018. So that's that date. And there's one more date I want to, and also we are going to be scheduling our first workshop on the Greenway Trails, but we'll get that out to you later. Okay? Be sometime in December, hopefully. So we have a lot of things coming up. Okay. Anything else from anybody? Public forum, moving to 3 minutes on any item. Anybody? Okay. All right, see none, I'll call for a motion to adjourn. And before that, I want to wish everybody a happy holiday.
Second.
Hopefully this tape gets on before then, but we never know when it's going to run. So, meeting, motion's been made and seconded. All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion carried. Thank you all.